Hello everybody, Tsetsuko here. I feel horrible. I just did a huge Smite video, and I was holding the push to talk button down, but it was the wrong one, so it was all wasted. So, I'm going to try this again. Thank you for joining me. If you are here watching on Twitch TV in the middle of the night, then God bless you. You're awesome. Most of you are probably watching this on YouTube, and that's cool. This video is an introduction to an upcoming game called Smite. This game releases, or released, depending on when you're watching this, on March 25th, 2014. What is Smite? Smite is a MOBA game. What's a MOBA game? MOBA game is a mobile or multiplayer online battle arena game. Games in this genre include League of Legends, Dota 2, Prime World, the upcoming Infinite Crisis, the upcoming Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm. These games spawned out of a Warcraft mod that was originally called Dota, and then that sort of spawned more games. And over the past few years, the MOBA genre has grown and become more and more popular, and it's only getting more popular. So I'm here to tell you about Smite, because I am excited about Smite. I think Smite is going to do very well, and it's just a really interesting, great game overall. So first things first, we're going to check out the main screen here, which is what I'm on. After you log in, this is the screen that you're going to see. So, a couple of standard things. You've got your settings button up here. I'm not going to go through the settings, but that's where they're at. These two buttons up here, one exits the game, the other will minimize the game. Here, you've got a button that will take you to the store. We'll talk about the store later. Over here, you've got some other navigation buttons. Right now, we'll just mention that this green button brings you home to this page. Over here, you've got news and announcements. So here's some latest features. You've got the current god rotation, new voice packs, new skins, things like that. This is important because Smite is a free-to-play game. So it's free-to-play to an extent. You can play this game for free, absolutely without spending a dime. You can do that by playing the gods that you get when you initially sign up for the game. You get 5 gods. What gods you get depends on when you sign up. There's a rotation. Or every week there's a different god rotation of gods that you're allowed to play for free, regardless of whether you own them or not. So for example, this week we've got 5 gods. We've got Agni, Loki, Sobek, Artemis, and Sun Wukong. So these you'll be able to play this week even if you don't own them. However, if you do want to play gods that you don't own, you have to acquire them somehow. That's where there's the different types of game currency come into play. So that's where we get into this section down here. So this is your character information. My account name, my character name is Tsetsuko. I'm currently level 9. This is my experience bar. And down here you can see that I have 0 gems, 3,917 favor. Well, what are those? Gems is a currency that you can purchase using real money. So you can go in, purchase, I think it's like 400 gems, cost $5. You can spend those to buy things in the store. Alternatively, you can use favor, which you earn by playing in-game matches, to also purchase things in the store. Now, for the most part, you'll be able to purchase everything that you need to actually play the game with favor. Generally, gems will allow you to get things that are more cosmetic and don't actually affect the gameplay, but you just might like. Now, below this, we have my mastery level, which we'll talk about later, and we also have goodwill, which is just basically a rating of my standing in terms of, am I a nice person, am I a horrible person, when it comes to playing Smite. In the center here, you've got your chat area, and this chat area will have everything that you're doing in it. You've got a system window, you've got a clan window if you're in a clan, if you're talking to someone, One-on-one, they'll pop up here. If you're talking to your party, your party chat window will pop up here. All your chat stuff's right here in the central area. This little box over here will tell you who is in your party. Well, what's a party? If you click on this green button down here, this will take you to your party window. You can invite people to your party. They'll show up here. And you can also click this button to view their profile and other options as far as the party is concerned. So parties are basically groups of people that you want to play games with and you want to be in the same queue for a match as. Also right down here, you've got your buddy list. You just click on this arrow. It brings up your buddy list. You can see your friends. You can see any requests you have, people who've recently played. You can see your clan members who are online and people that you blocked. Now over here, if you right-click on someone, you can see the different options that you have available. One of those is invite to party if they are online. And that's basically how you can interact with the people that you are playing the game with. And then right here in the middle, this is just a rotating sort of newsreel. Anything that they decide to put up that is important or they want to get noticed goes into this newsreel. So let's move on and talk about these buttons. We're going to start down here. This is the league window. This will tell you everything that has to do with you and everyone else as far as ranked gameplay is concerned. If you're watching this video, it's because you're interested in Smite and you don't know a whole lot about it. And I'm pretty certain that you're not very concerned about the ranked stuff yet. So we're going to let this lie for now, and possibly later on, when we get involved with ranked as a guild, or as grievance, we will make a video in regards to that. Now this next window, I'm not going to click on it. It takes you to TV, which lets you see a whole bunch of videos that are playing, whether it's live streaming from people, tutorial videos. You can check out the Twitch program that Smite has, where if you sign up and you Twitch stream through them, you can earn some icons or achievements for that. But basically all your videos are here. On the next page you have guides. And the cool thing about this, you can go to community websites. You can see all the Smite wiki, the Smite Reddit, stuff like that. And it will take you in your browser directly to those websites. So if you're playing the game and you're like, man, I need a build for this god, you can click Smite Fire, launch browser, boom, you're there. You didn't even have to alt tab. So that's pretty cool. What's even cooler though is this character builder. This character builder will let you adjust your character's level, which will update their stats, but it will also let you make a custom item set and a custom ability upgrade set that you can use in a game for a particular god. And the really cool thing about this is that you can set them to auto level. Auto level we'll talk about later. It's a cool feature, and the fact that you can use it on sets that you customize is even better. Now on the next tab, you got your profile here. This is your player profile. I've actually only got one match on record. I've played a bunch of matches, but they've all been custom against computer-controlled AI, which doesn't factor into your profile. But you can see here the one match that I have played so far. I played as Artemis. She's a hunter, so that's my role played. And I played an arena match. And I got some accolades. So you can see all the stuff about your character here. Worshipper details, we'll talk about that when we get to the gods page, but this basically just gives you an overview of your worshipper progression for each god. Recent matches, it's simple. Any recent matches you have, the stats will show up here, as well as match details. There's a refer a friend system in place where if you invite someone to Smite, they sign up through your link. As they level over here, you get rewards. It's pretty cool. It's pretty easy to do. It's not even that difficult. Most people that play this game, if they're going to keep playing it, they're going to hit level 30. So nothing too complicated there. You get some bonus stuff. And then lastly, we have the clan tab, which will let you organize your clan. This is not a ranked team like League of Legends. This is a clan. It's a full-on like the equivalent of a guild system in Smite. It's awesome. We won't go into depth with that at the moment. Now the next tab, we're going to pause real quick before we go here, and we're going to talk about the basis of Smite. What is Smite based on? What's the concept behind it? Well, basically in Smite, you play as a god from some field of mythology, be it Greek, Norse, Hindu, Chinese. You play as one of those gods, and you are battling it out with other gods. That's it. It's pretty simple. But it allows for a lot of cool characters that you can play as, and it's very, very thematic and interesting, especially if you are into mythology at all. Because chances are, if they don't have your particular god that you think is really cool right now, they'll have it eventually, I'm sure. So let's go ahead and check these gods out. So this is the gods page. Over here we have a list of all the gods that are in the game. There are currently 44 gods in the game. Now I said this before, this game launches March 25th. It's not out yet as of this cast, and there are already 44 gods. And I have played probably 2/3 of these gods, and they are good. They're good gods with interesting abilities. It's not like they're just thrown together. It is not quantity over quality here. The quality is there for these gods. They are awesome. So, let's take a look at this area. So first off, you've got the god's name. This is Agni. Then you have what god he is. He's the god of fire. For comparison, here's Nemesis. She's the goddess of vengeance. Now below that, it tells you what mythology they're from. Agni, the god of fire, is from Hindu mythology. Nemesis, the goddess of vengeance, is from Greek mythology. The god rank has to do with your rank as a player with this particular god. Now the rest of this stuff, voice packs are their audio effects that affect your pings and things in game. It's not something we're really going to get into. Just know that these are something that you can purchase, and it costs gems only. You cannot buy these with the in-game currency. You have to pay cash money to get voice packs. Now down here you have skins. Skins, it depends on the skin. So for example, this is his incinerator skin. You can see here that I have the option to purchase this skin for 200 gems, cash money, or 9,500 favor, which I earn in-game by playing matches. So if I wanted to, I could save up my in-game currency to not only buy Agni, but to buy a skin for him as well. But let's look at the next skin, Volcanic. You can see that this skin costs 400 gems and is not available to purchase with favor. So all the gods you can purchase with favor, or you can purchase them with gems. Skins, it depends on the skin. The cool thing is that there is an option there to buy some skins with in-game currency, which many games in general, and MOBA games especially, do not support. Generally, skins are a purely cosmetic thing that doesn't affect the gameplay, and you pay cash money for them. Now down here we got a couple of tabs. We're in the god view right now. If we click on overview, you can see a summary of the god. You can also see this when you hover over a god in the selection window. You get the details on their stats and their basic attacks, and then down here you can hover over their abilities and see what they do. History shows your matches with this particular god. You can sort them by queue type if you've been in different queues, things like that. Items, this is the recommended item build out for this particular god, so you can look at these items and maybe try to get an idea of why these items are good for that particular god, and that will help you to figure out your own custom item build. Next tab is lore. This gives you the backstory behind this particular god. While the text is cool, hi-rez Studios, the developers of Smite, have put out some really cool god introductory videos where you can get this text in a much cooler video form. And then finally up, worshippers. Now I mentioned these earlier. Worshippers are acquired by being victorious in battle. For every match that you win with a god, you earn worshippers for that god. You gain mastery levels for the worshippers that you acquire, and then for every god that you get to mastery level 1, note, you can get them higher than mastery level 1, you gain a player mastery level, which is down here. Now note that even though you can get your god's mastery level above 1, you only get the player mastery level for reaching level 1. So if I had Agni at mastery level 6, I still only get 1 player mastery level for Agni. Now the cool thing about that is you can look at your mastery level and it tells you exactly how many gods you have mastered to mastery level 1. So currently the maximum mastery rank that you, or level that you can reach, is 44 because there are 44 gods available. And that's just a way for you to keep track of your status, as well as a way for them to potentially match you up with other players. Now the next thing to talk about is this filter over here. So this filter will filter gods based on their role. There are 5 different roles in Smite. These roles are common throughout many RPGs, and they're common throughout many MOBAs. So the first role is the assassin role. Assassins are generally melee characters who are high DPS, low defense, and deal a lot of damage with their auto attacks. The basic idea behind an assassin is you get in, you throw down some damage, and you get out. Because if you don't, you're super squishy and you're probably going to die. Next up, we're going to skip warriors and we're going to talk about guardians. Guardians are high defense, low damage characters who generally are melee and generally focus on crowd control abilities and taking up a lot of damage. Generally with a guardian type character, you want to get into the fight first, soak up as much damage as you can, cause as much disruption as you can by slowing people, stunning people, knocking people up, pulling people around, just generally making life miserable for the other team while setting up kills for your team. So the warrior is actually a mix between the assassin and the guardian. Instead of being polarized towards damage or defense, they're a good hybrid. Generally, warriors can put out a good amount of damage and also take a lot of damage. They're not going to be able to take as much damage as a guardian would, and they won't be able to put out as much DPS as a assassin would, but they're good all-around characters for that middle ground if you like a mix of both. Next up, we have mages. Mages are high damage, low defense characters that deal a lot of damage based on their abilities, not so much their auto attacks. So generally, mages, for the most part, are very burst damage oriented because they, will either combo together their abilities or their abilities hit really hard, and because they don't have a very strong auto attack compared to like an assassin, what they want to do is they want to set up, wait for that perfect moment to use an ability, and take off 3/4 of your health bar with one button push. And then finally, we have hunters. Hunters are ranged, generally physical damage characters. They are high DPS, low defense, much like assassins. The difference is, they are ranged characters, and for the most part, an assassin will generally have high mobility, whereas a hunter will not have high mobility. The reason for the assassin's high mobility is because they need to get in and get out quickly, whereas a hunter generally can sit back and shoot from afar. So as a hunter, you kind of want to sit on the edges of the fight and pick off characters as much as you can. And when facing a hunter, generally if you can get on top of a hunter, you probably got him in the bag. So moving on, we're going to click play here, and we're going to talk about the different modes that are available. So Practice mode is basically you versus computer AI opponents. Co-op is you and friends or other random players on one team versus computer-controlled opponents on another team. Normal is you with friends or other random players versus other random players, so full PvP. Leagues are ranked PvP matches, so the serious business part of Smite and MOBAs in general. And then custom games are games that you can set up kind of however you want and tweak. Something cool to mention about custom games here is that you can choose to spawn lane minions, which if you're familiar with MOBAs, that's an interesting option. And you can also pick the starting level of the gods and their starting gold. So you could start everybody at level 1 with no gold and make them earn it. You could start everybody at level 20 with 100,000 gold, so everybody starts at a full build and you guys just go balls to the wall right out the gate. So those are just some cool options that I noticed in the custom games that are pretty interesting and not something found in too many other MOBAs. So we're going to jump back to normal and talk about the different types of matches that you can play in. So in an arena, you're battling in an open arena with no lanes or tower objectives. It's 5v5 straight up brawling. The general idea is that each side you start with 500 tickets. If you kill an enemy player, it takes away 5 tickets from the enemy tickets. If you kill an enemy minion, it takes away 1 ticket from the enemy ticket. So, and then also, if you can get your minion into the enemy portal, it takes the ticket away from the enemy tickets. So basically, you're trying to kill the enemy minions, and get your minions into their base so that you can reduce their tickets to 0. And when you do, you win. Pretty interesting if you just want to get in there and you just want to fight without the tedium of, trying to last hit minions and, all the stuff that you typically do. Boom, arena is the way to go. Now, Conquest is your typical MOBA map. You could compare this to Summoner's Rift in League of Legends, if you're familiar with that. Conquest is a solo mode. And, not a solo mode, I'm sorry. Conquest is a 5v5 map. It's got 3 lanes and a huge jungle. This is the prime mode for playing Smite. The objective is to destroy opposing enemy towers, phoenixes, and their titan. So killing the enemy's titan means that you win the game. Very standard. If you've played a MOBA before, this is probably something you're familiar with. Next up, we have Assault. Assault is 1 lane, no jungle, 5v5, and all random gods. So nobody gets to choose their god. Everybody gets a random god. You're on 1 lane with nowhere to run, and you guys just fight it out right from the get-go. You still are trying to push into their objective and take down their titan, but all on 1 lane with nowhere to run. Joust is a 3v3. It's a single lane, but unlike Assault, you get to choose your god, and there are side jungles on each side of the lane, so you have somewhere to run to. You also have jungle buffs that you can pick up and things like that. If you don't know what jungle is, don't worry about it. You'll see. Now this particular slot is here because this is a special game mode. These change off over time. And so right now we have Weakest Link. So in Weakest Link, Ares, the Greek god of war, is off the chain in a mirror match that will reveal who really is the weakest link. So this is just a special match type that you can queue up for. And then finally you have Conquest Pre-Made. This is the Conquest map that I was talking about earlier. The difference is both teams have to be pre-made, so you have to queue up as a 5-man team, and you will play against another team that queued up as 5 people, so there will be no random people on either team, meaning this is sort of a more serious business Conquest mode. Now for ranked play, you're able to play Conquest, Arena, and Joust. Now this wreath symbol that you can see here means that this match is eligible for a first win of the day. First win of the day will earn you bonus favor. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go into a practice match. We're going to go into a joust here. So it's going to be me versus one computer-controlled enemy. We're going to click on Join Queue. And this was the queue countdown. When you queue up for practice, it's instantaneous, so you don't have to wait. And then you have a timer to accept the match, which I'll do. And now this takes me to the God selection menu. You can see over here, it's just me. These are all empty, and I'm going to be fighting one enemy. These are empty. Down here, I've got a chat box. I can talk to people on my team. Right here, you can see the option to auto-level skills and items. I'm going to turn those on. And then for this particular match, I'm going to play as Sobek, the God of the Nile.
Sobek.
So Sobek is a Guardian type character. Now the thing about this is he's very tanky, so there's a good chance that I'm going to have high survivability, but he doesn't do a lot of damage, so the game's going to be a little bit slower paced because I won't be able to kill the enemy as rapidly. You can see though, as I said, this is Sobek. He is the Egyptian god of the Nile. He's a melee magical character. He's a guardian. His pros, as listed on here, are that he has high crowd control and high defense, and his difficulty is average. So once you've chosen your god, you have the option to select a skin if you have one available. I don't have one for him, so I can't pick one, and then you can click lock in, and this will lock you in, and the game will launch once either the countdown has run out or everybody has locked in.
My blood runs cold.
Alright, so here we are. This is the team's fountain. You can see on the mini-map to the right that this is the map. You can see we've got one big center lane, and then we've also got some little oval half-circle side lanes. The first blue icon that you see right here is my Titan. There's a yellow one as well in the enemy base. The bird symbol that you see is my Phoenix, and the kind of chess pawn looking symbol is my tower. Now we might get a little bit behind in this match because I'm going over things here and not so much trying to win at the moment, but let's check things out. So up in the top left hand corner, you've got my character. Here in the middle, you've got a timer for how long the match has gone on. On the left side, you've got your team stats. On the right side, you've got the opposing team stats. The gold is how much gold total has been earned by your entire team. The sword icon is how many kills that your team has gotten. The tower icon in the middle means that you still have one tower left. And the Phoenix means that you have one Phoenix left. And the stats are the exact same for the enemy team. Also in the top right, you can see that my opponent is there. Below the opponent, there's the minimap. Below that is the window that shows the current gold that I have, as well as the items that I currently have purchased. On the far left, in the bottom, you can see my character stats. The swords are how many kills I've gotten. The gravestone in the middle there is how many deaths I've suffered. And then the hand is how many assists that I've gotten. Assists are basically when you help someone kill an opposing god, but you don't actually deal the killing blow. Then below that, you've got my different stats, which we can get into at a later time. For now, you can push the K button, or actually, let's go over this middle section. You can see my character portrait. The 3 to the left of it is my current character level. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are my skills. F and G are also skills, and that C is my items. Now in this particular case, I have meditation, which will restore mana to me, and I have sprint, which will give me a burst of speed, and then my item is a health potion. Because the green bar above my abilities next to my character portrait is my health, and below that is my mana. Mana is the resource that I use to cast abilities. Now if I push K, this will bring up my ability window. Up here you can see your passive ability. So for this particular character, my basic attacks that hit an enemy will grant me protections for a short time. So, I attack people, they can't attack me back as hard. This tells me that the ability is a buff and that it affects myself. And then here, protections, I get 5 protections for 4 seconds, and they stack a maximum of 3 times. So that's my passive up here at the top. This doesn't actually show up anywhere on my bar down here, so when you're playing, you definitely need to push K, open up your ability window, and check out what your passive is. It will also tell you your basic attack, the damage, and things like that, and if there's any progression to it. Then you can look at your abilities. So in this particular mode, Joust, you start at level 3. Now normally you would start at level 1 and you would only have one ability available. When you hit level 2, then you can choose either to learn a new ability or make an existing ability stronger. So since I started at rank 3, I automatically got one of each of the skills available. This last skill is my ultimate. Ultimates are powerful abilities that generally have a long cooldown, and you're not able to purchase your ultimate until you are level 5. So for this particular character, I've got a move called Charge Prey. I charge forward at a frenzied pace. If I hit an enemy, I do damage and throw them behind me. So this is the text that describes the ability to me. The ability type tells me what type of ability is. This is line ability. My second is an area, and my third is a cone ability. It tells me who it affects. All my abilities affect the enemy, and then it tells me what type of damage it is. They're all magical. Also, for area abilities, you have a radius that tells you how big the area of effect is. Then down here you can see all the other more technical stats, such as damage, healing reduction, things along that line. This will show you... Oh, by the way, the slashes mean that at this current rank, this ability does 7 damage. If I level this ability up, it will do 110, and then it will do 150, and if I get it to max level, it will do 230 damage. Same thing here, cost. This is how much mana it cost me to use this ability. And then also the cooldown is when I activate the ability, how much time do I have to wait before I can use the ability again. So that is the ability window. You also have the item store. I'm not going to go in depth to the item store. All I'm going to tell you is that I have auto purchase turned on, so what the game is going to do is every time that I come back here to my base, it's going to buy as many items as it can with the gold that I have available. Also, I have auto level skills turned on, so when I level up, this particular bar right here, right underneath my character screen, is my XP bar. When I level up, it will automatically choose what ability to learn or improve for me, so I can focus on playing the game instead of trying to micromanage my character. So we are way behind. You can see if I push tab, this shows so we are playing we're fighting a losing battle here. So you can see this is my Phoenix. These are enemy minions. I can kill these for gold. Also, you can see that the Phoenix will attack Ra if he gets within this white line here. Now, this is the main lane, and you can see some text there. You can see speed camp and mana camp, those have to do with the jungle. I'm not going to go over the jungle too much in this video. I may run out and get a buff from the jungle, but just know that the jungle is there, and this will take me real quick. I'll show you. So this was the speed camp. If I look right here, here's the speed camp. If I kill all these monsters, these guys will drop this yellow buff that's on this guy, then I can pick that buff up, and you can see it will give me 20% movement speed and 10% attack speed. Now, because I'm so far behind of Ra, I may have to get some of those buffs just to stand a fighting chance, but we will see. So for now, I'm just going to play the match, and I'll try to explain what I'm doing as I go. So you can see that I just hit level 5, so I got my ultimate ability, Lurking in the Waters, and also when I hit level 4, the game automatically ranked up my number 2 skill, Tail Whip. Now right now, since I'm behind, I don't want to be super aggressive, because Ra, who I'm fighting, can pretty much just destroy me right now. What I want to do is I want to kind of just take it easy, stay close to the fight so I can earn some experience, and try to kill minions so I can get some gold. Now, something that's different about Smite compared to other MOBAs, well, one, you can see that the perspective is very different. Smite plays from a third-person perspective instead of a top-down sort of RTS perspective. And instead of right-clicking to move, you move with the WASD keys, and then instead of using the typical QER for your abilities, you use 1, 2, 3, 4. This is definitely a very interesting change, and a good way to mix up the genre. Something that also is different is in Smite, you gain XP and gold just from being near the battlefield. Even if you just stand there and don't do anything, you will gain some gold and experience. So this helps you to catch up if you're falling behind. You see, I'm level 6, he's level 10, I just got level 7. Now, the cool thing here is that because he already took down my tower, my Phoenix is really strong, so I can kind of sit here and he can't really attack me too hard, because the Phoenix will attack him if he starts attacking me. And I can sit here and kind of just kill these minions and gain XP and hopefully catch up. So you can see I just got level 8. He's still level 10, so I'm slowly but surely catching up. And I'm going to let those guys push out. And if I push B, B will let me return back to my fountain, which is where I was starting. There's 2 reasons I want to do this. One, it's the only place you can purchase new items. So, as you can see, what popped up in the top left there, I purchased some new items. Also, when you go back to your fountain, you regenerate health and mana very, very quickly. Now see, I don't want to be here in MOBA games. You do not want to face a bunch of minions without your own minions. And you definitely don't want to face a bunch of minions with an enemy god in the area as well. So, even though he was a higher level than me, I managed to kill him. What I did was I comboed a couple of moves here on Sobek. So first off, charge my prey. I use that because if I can hit him, it tosses him behind me. So what I did is I grabbed him and I tossed him in the direction of my Phoenix, because I know that if he hits me, my Phoenix will start doing damage to him as well. And the Phoenix hits very hard. The second thing that I did is I used my Tail Whip ability. You can see here my Tail Whip, this is the area of effect. It hits around me and it knocks enemies back in the directions that they came from. So since Ra came from this direction, or I threw him back there, then I knocked him back this way when I used that ability. See, he's not too mad. Now the other thing that I could have done as well is I could have used my number 3 skill, which is Sickening Strike.
Your middle phoenix is under attack.
And Sickening Strike will actually heal me depending on the amount of enemies I So you can see I used the same combo on him again. I grabbed him with Charge Prey. Then I knocked him back. Actually, I kind of knocked him sideways with Tail Whip. And then I threw my Sickening Strike on him to try to get some more damage on him. Then I used my G skill, which is that sprint that I was talking about, so that I could keep up with him while he was running away. And then I just tried to get him with some more auto attacks, and I managed to kill him again. So you can see now I'm level 11, he's level 12, so I'm catching up quickly. And if you look at the stats, that was his ultimate, by the way. I have 2 kills, he has no kills. So even though I got a tower down, I'm slowly turning the tides against him. So for right now, I just want to play it safe, and eventually, when I get some more items, I will be able to play much more aggressively. So enemy kills also give you much more experience and gold, so they're a good way. Ultimate here. Now my ultimate's pretty cool. I submerge myself, like you saw, and I'll regen mana, and I'm immune to any sort of crowd control, and I also slow enemies, so it's a good way to make sure that Ra stayed within my range. And then when I pop up, I do damage to all enemies in the radius. And I can also cancel the ability early by right-clicking, and it just does less damage. You can see that I've turned the tables here. I'm level 13 and he's level 12. Now what I don't want to do is I don't want to charge in here. You see this line? That is the radius of the aggro area of the tower. If I go there without minions in front, the tower will start attacking me, and it hits really hard. Also, if I attack Ra while he is within that, or while we are within the radius of that tower, the tower will focus on me regardless if there are any minions there or not. Much in the same way that the Phoenix will focus on Ra if he attacks me, regardless of whether he has any minions there or not. So I'm still wanting to play it safe because I'm not a high damage character and he is. So I really need to build up some resistances and stuff before I try to take him on without the support of my Phoenix here. Now once I get some more items, you can see I've got 6,000 gold right now, which I should go back and get new items. I'll have so much resistance that he won't really do too much damage to me, and then I'll be able to damage or play more aggressively. And the reason that I'm kind of waiting on that is because even if I can kill him a lot, if I don't take down the objectives, if I don't take down the tower and his Phoenix and stuff like that, then I'm not going to win the game. Okay, he just wasted his ult on some minions there, which is good. That means his ultimate ability is down. I don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to show you real quick. See, the tower aggroed me when I went too far. Like I said, I don't want to play too aggressively. I want to stay near the combat though, so that I can gain experience and gold. So I use my sprint ability to get away. You can see there what I was talking about. He hit me pretty hard. So I'm still not at the point yet where I can go toe-to-toe to him without any sort of help. So I'm going to go back to base. I've got almost 7,000 gold. You'll see a bunch of auto purchases pop up. I almost have a full build now. So I will be able to take a lot more damage from him. I could have got him right there. I was taking a drink, so don't be too hard on me. Alright, we're at the same level. We're gonna try a toe-to-toe here. Once I get his minions caught up. Oh, I missed. I'm going deep, way back to where I should be. Missed a couple of... And he's going to get away because I do not want to take a bunch of damage from a Phoenix. So, missed a bunch of skills there. It's a little bit difficult to cast those while holding down a push to talk button on your mouse, but it's all good. I go ahead and just go back, see if I can finish off my build. I did. Cool. Now at this point, something that the auto purchase does not do is it doesn't automatically upgrade your active abilities or purchase any sort of consumable items for you besides health potions, and it will only purchase one at a time. So I actually want to upgrade these. So now that my build is fully done, I'm going to turn auto purchase off, and I'm going to upgrade that ability, and then I need 400 gold to upgrade sprint. So for now, I'm just going to get 2 more health potions and head back out and focus on trying to get the tower down. Go up here, try to get some hits in on this tower. I'm going to back out because I don't want to be under the tower when he starts to mess with me, and I'm actually going to go over here because I could use a little bit more damage, so I'm going to head to the damage camp for the jungle. Just show you what the buff and everything looks like. Now I'm wasting my ability cooldowns and things like that because I plan on popping back to base real quick before I head out to fight him again, because I want to fill up my health and my mana before I do this, and I also have enough gold now to upgrade my sprint. And then I also have enough to get some more health
Your
potions.
middle phoenix is under attack.
And all my damage is magical damage, so I can purchase a potion of magical might. And that will give me a buff for 5 minutes, or until I die. So you see I pushed him back pretty far. He's down to about half health. Go ahead and engage on him. And hopefully finish him off here. Use my ult on him. Normally I wouldn't use my ult, but it's just me versus him, so there's no other good situations to save it for. And now I can get up here on this tower, hopefully take it down, and then we can start working on the Phoenix. You can see the ballista, the tower targeted me, but at this point I have so much defense it doesn't really do anything. So I'm just going to stand there, like I just did, and get the tower
Your
down.
team has destroyed a middle enemy tower.
Now you can see on the minimap icon, something cool about Smite is you can actually see the health of your towers and phoenixes and stuff like that on the map. So you can see he almost has my phoenix down right now. So I'm actually a little bit behind in terms of overall victory. Right now I am at 5 kills and no deaths, so I'm doing pretty good against him, but I do need to keep focused on trying to win the game overall. You can also see that I've managed to get 2 levels ahead of him. So my minions are almost dead, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up to my minion wave here and kind of wait for him to come this way so I can toss him back behind my minion wave, so if he attacks me, my minions will attack him. Now this is ultimate. Use my ultimate. Stay ahead of him. Catch him again. Finish him off. So now that he's down, I really want to try to push up onto this Phoenix, get some damage in. So what I'm probably going to do is get in here, soak up some damage, and just try to get out before he comes back, so I get as much damage in while he's down as I can. So he showed up, so I'm going to get out of dodge. My ult's down, so I don't really want to mess with him too much, so I'll swing out here to this camp and pick up another damage buff. Go back to base. You can see my Phoenix is slowly regenerating some health. I'm actually going to sell back this buff so that I can purchase the more expensive consumable item here. This elixir of power. I've got plenty of defense. I need more killing power, so I'll put that on. That's going to give me a 5-minute buff that will increase all my damage by 25%. And then I'll purchase a couple more healing potions here. He took down my Phoenix while I was doing that, so... Now the thing about the Phoenix is once you take the Phoenix down, your minions become stronger. So these guys are actually a lot stronger than my minions. So I'm gonna just kind of burn all my abilities over and over again to try to push them back a little bit. Now my Phoenix will respawn eventually. So for the time being, what I kind of want to do is I just want to keep these minion waves pushed out, give my Phoenix time to respawn so that we're back on an even playing field. My mana regen ability so I can stay in lane without having to go back to base. I'm curious as to why Ra hasn't shown back up. Perhaps he has a really long death cooldown since we're getting later into the game here. What I may actually do is, now that I think you've got a pretty good idea of what's going on here, I may just quit this game early. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to head directly into their base. Pretty much a suicide mission, but I want you to see what happens when you get into a Titan. So basically what I would want to do, so I'd want to come up here, I'd want to take down this Phoenix, and once that Phoenix was down, my minions would be stronger, and then they would start pushing into here, and eventually I would get back to this Titan back here, who will attack me, and he will chase me. You'll see he'll follow me outside of the walls. Like I said, I could take a lot of damage. So eventually he'll go back. But that's the general idea of what you want to do in this particular match. Is get in there, you kill that guy, and you win. So right now my Titan is under attack, which means if they manage to kill it, I will actually lose. Like I said, I'll just push them off. Titans are pretty hard to kill at this point anyway. And I'm just going to go ahead and end the game there. Now, in most circumstances after a game like that, you would have gotten some favor, some experience for your character, things like that. Because I quit the game, I don't get any of that. But it's fine. I didn't want to go much longer than 30 minutes for that game anyway. So, hopefully you've had a chance to watch this. Hopefully that match was, interesting enough for an introductory video. Obviously it's not super crazy for giving you a good idea of the multitude of possibilities in Smite. Sobek's not exactly a flashy character. There are tons of cool gods that do all kinds of crazy stuff. I happen to really like Sobek because he's really good at setting up kills, and I just like gardening characters in general. But that is Smite. This was the introductory video. Hopefully you are interested in the game. If you are, feel free to contact me, Tsetsuko, on the forums. Contact me in TeamSpeak. You can add me if you decide to play Smite. All you gotta do is sign up. I would prefer that you let me know, and I could refer you as a friend, get some more currency. The cool thing about Smite is that you can actually purchase things for people. So I actually bought the Ultimate God Pack, which is something only available until release. It's $30. It gives you all the gods that are currently available, so 44, and all future gods. All after release, every single god that comes out, you automatically get it with the Ultimate God Pack. If you're watching this after the point that this is no longer available, I'm sorry. But yeah, if you are interested in the game, definitely I would love for you to hit me up and let me do the refer a friend for you. And just show you here real quick. Where's it at? Refer a friend. So if we get to 30,000 or level 30, 2,000 favor, 200 gems, I can gift things to people with that currency. So, you know, if you take the time to do the refer a friend, I will make sure that that gets back to you in the form of, you know, a god or a skin or something like that later on down the line. Or if you just want to jump into it now, just go for it. Don't wait around for me if you don't want to. You can add me on Smite. My character name, as you can see here, is Tsetsuko. Just add me. I'm going to assume that anybody adding me is from Grievance and wants to be involved with Smite, so I will accept you, meet you on TeamSpeak. I'll get you into the Grievance clan. We'll get you into some games. We'll teach you how to play. I will run practice modes with you. We can do whatever you feel like you need to do to learn to play the game, to get used to it. We can do it. Thank you for tuning in. Look forward to more Smite casts. I'm going to be casting Smite a lot. I'm going to have a God series going on where I go through and, you know, we take a look at all the different Guardians that are available, or we take a look at all the different Hunters. And they're not going to be super long videos, but enough to go over abilities and, you know, give a general idea of some combos that you can do and things like that. We'll also take a look at, you know, the skins and things that are available. And lastly, before I go, Sobek, he's awesome. I really want you guys to see this skin. Check it out. Pirate Crocodile. Thank you for tuning in to the Smitecast. I will catch you next time.